So you're looking to hit more 180s, or maybe you're still on the hunt to find your first 180. Whatever it might be, you're in the perfect spot because that's what we're going over in this video. And we're not going to waste any time. We're going to get straight into this. And step one is that you have to hit a triple 20 with your first dart. This is the perfect start to getting the 180. And if you miss that first dart, well, you're not going to be able to get the 180. Step two is that your second dart has to go in the triple 20 too. So that's a really important dart because that's going to bring your score up to 120 with one dart in hand, which brings us to step number three, is that your third dart has to hit the triple 20. And there you guys have it. That's how to hit a 180. Make sure you give yourself a loud Russ Bray 180 call after you hit it. I'll see you all in the next one, and shoot well. All right, that was one of my quicker ones. Leaves me some time to watch some TV tonight. Oh, a new episode of Love Island. Nice. Oh, Gilmore Girls is on here now? Sweet. Oh, you guys are still here? What's up? You didn't like those steps? You didn't think that was a good video? I thought it was pretty good. I was just laying the steps on how to hit a 180. Yeah? Oh, so you want some more tips and maybe some practice games? All right, that sounds good. I got you guys covered. All right, guys, let's actually talk about this, how to hit more 180s, or maybe your first 180. And in this video, we're not going to go too much into mechanics. I talk a lot about mechanics in my other videos. So if you want some mechanics videos, check out the top comment down below. So the first thing that we're going to talk about here is having the positive mindset, believing in yourself that you can hit the 180. My biggest pet peeve, not only in darts, but in life, is when people say, I can't. Yes, you can. Never tell yourself that you can't hit a 180 or hit any shot on the dartboard. I'm telling you right now that you can hit a 180. You can hit a lot of them. You just need to set your mind to it and do it. And the first step to that is having the positive mindset, telling yourself that you can hit the 180. If you tell yourself that you can't hit the 180, then you never will. And also to build on that, a lot of us just naturally say, oh, I can't do that. And we don't even think about it. We just say that. If you find yourself accidentally saying I can't, at least add the word yet at the end of it, because that at least makes that statement a little bit more positive by saying that you just haven't done it yet and you still will do it in the future. So the first thing is that you have to have that positive mindset and always believe in yourself that you can hit the 180. The second thing that we're going to talk about here is having a consistent throw. And I'm not talking mechanics here. Like I said, go check out the mechanics videos if you want to look at that. Even if you have the ugliest throw in the world, it all comes down to being consistent with it. Look at Mensur Suljovic. I'm not saying anything negative about his throw, but when you watch him, he clearly doesn't have that great of a throw, mechanically speaking, but he is a phenomenal darts player. You can't take anything away from him. He has practiced his throw consistently, which makes it good for him. I could sit here and name quite a few players that don't have the prettiest throws that are still great darts players because they're consistent with their throw. So yes, go watch the mechanics videos and work on that, but at the end of the day, do what's comfortable for you and do it consistently. The more consistent you are with it, the more consistent you'll be with your scoring. So regardless of how ugly you may perceive your throw to be, just be consistent with it. And the third thing that we're going to talk about here, I said I'm not going to talk too much about mechanics, but I do have one go-to tip that I tell all newer darts players that I talk to. If anyone asks me what is my number one tip, it is always this, and that is to point at your target on your follow-through. And at first, listen to that. You might think a literal point at that triple 20. It's not a literal point. I'll put that video in the top comment down below too, where I go more in depth about what I mean by that. But just take that statement into your darts practice about pointing at your target on your follow-through, and it will help you. Now, we're going to talk about some things that you can do in practice here, but before we get into that, guys, if you're new to Bullshot Darts, please make sure you hit that subscribe button, drop this video a thumbs up, and share it if you found it useful, and also go check out the link tree where we got all the Bullshot Darts socials down there. So now let's talk about the practice aspect of this. You are a product of what you practice. If your main focus is high scoring and hitting 180s, that's what you need to focus on your practice. If you're doing a lot of your practice throwing at doubles, playing cricket, throwing at other things, which are great to do in practice, but that's taking away from your scoring. So you are a product of what you practice. You have to throw a lot at that triple 20. And also, if you're not throwing at the triple 20, then you'll never hit a 180. The next little practice game that you can play here is, I've talked about this in a previous video, but you can put a string right down the middle of the triple 20. I'll put a little picture on screen so you guys can see what I mean by that. What this does is that it gives you a center point of your target to aim at. When you're aiming at the whole triple in general, if you miss just a little above the triple or a little bit to the left or the right, your dart's out of your target, which is the triple 20 as a whole. If you have a center point to focus on and aim at, if you miss that by a little bit to the left or right, it's still going to be in the triple 20 because your aim point is in the center of your target. I put a string on my board and had it up there for weeks. I had so much fun throwing at it, and an objective of it is to break the string at the triple 20. So that will help you zone in and throw your dart straight down the middle at that, well, triple 20. Another thing that is similar to that, I personally don't do this, and I would never do it because I don't like putting permanent marker or anything on my darts board, but you could put a little permanent marker dot in the middle of the triple 20. And the idea is the same, is that it gives you a smaller point to aim for. Aim small, miss small is one of the most, I don't know, just meaningful sayings that you could hear in darts because it's so true. You have to aim super small to miss small. So you could put a little permanent marker dot in the middle of that triple 20 and aim at that. And if you do not want to put a permanent marker on your dart board, or maybe you're out in public throwing darts, just try to find a small little spot in the middle of the triple 20. No dartboard has perfect coloration all around. There's a bunch of little marks on dartboards. So just find a little one that's right in the middle of the triple 20 and aim at that. So actually, one more thing. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes here. There's one more thing I missed. Another thing that you can do is put one marker dart in the triple 20 and then throw at that. One, that'll help you give a aim spot because now the dart's on the board and you can aim at that. But two, it'll make you comfortable throwing at the triple 20 when you already have a dart or two in there. A lot of times we'll throw that first triple 20 and it's like, oh man, if I get two more, that's a 180. You throw your second triple 20, oh my gosh, I have one more dart to hit this 180, and you psych yourself out and then you miss. So if you put one or two darts in the triple 20 segment and use that while you're practicing, that will help you get over the pressure of getting that second and third dart in the triple 20 because you'll be comfortable with already throwing darts in the triple. All right, guys, that's it for this one. If you follow these steps, you will hit more 180s or maybe your first 180. And if you want to check out some of those mechanic videos, check out the top comment down below. I'll see you guys in the next one, and shoot well.